And today's event in the junior barn this morning is the Breeding Boer Goat Show. We're starting with percentage females. These are the percentage doe kids, 0 to 3 months of age. We'll do all of our females. We'll do females and then rams, and then females and rams in the full blood category. Thank you for being here. While I have a minute, I would like to introduce Dr. Randy Harp, who is our judge for the day. He has 45 years in higher education working with youth. He has coached 12 national champion collegiate judging teams. He judged the ABGA shows since 2005, from Washington and Oregon to West Virginia and Georgia. He judged at Houston, state fairs, and many more. He served on several major livestock show collegiate judging committees in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, give a National Western welcome to Dr. Randy Harp, our judge for the day. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Harp.
All right, good morning. Sorry for any delay there. We were just making sure that tattoo numbers match with ABGA, American Boer Goat standards. For those of you not familiar, that the ABGA registration papers has to match the tattoos in the ear. And so we were confirming that as far as when they checked in, and this was the right animal in the class. That being so, and I did confirm that with the show officials, so we're going to start the class with the more predominantly black female here, just a little more showing a little more productivity at this particular time for this age group. One showing definitely a lot of width, base width from end to end. Really appreciate the elegance that she has up through her front 1/3 of her body as well. You know, just a really cool looking little more traditional doe here that's in second in this class. Give her just a little more time and she'll be winning a lot of classes. I really like the look that she gives up through the front 1/3 of her body. Really square from shoulder to hip. Really appreciate that in her. You know, I'd maybe like to change her hind leg set just a little bit. And maybe she'll grow into that, maybe not, but just give her a little bit more. I thought there was a little more correctness in hind leg set with our first place entry. But at the same time, really a really nice quality pair to start the show off with. Thank you.
Results of Class 101, Doe Kids, 0 to 3 months. Second place, Sammy Lorena. And first place, Firefly Hill Boer Goats. Next in the ring, Class 102, Doe Kids, 3 to 6 months. And these are the percentage does. Percentage Doe Kids, 3 to 6 months. Join Kirk Steerwalt, renowned Andis livestock grooming educator, for a live demonstration in the Beef Palace Auction Arena. Kirk will explain the latest techniques to create award-winning results with your Andis tools. Please check your schedule for dates and time. John Deere is the official agriculture and turf equipment provider of the National Western Stock Show. Visit your local John Deere dealer for great deals now, and remember, nothing runs like a Deere.
test. We're back again with another pair, really a more traditional looking one. The young man here is showing super good looking female here for this percentage doe. You know, just really appreciate the balance and symmetry that she gives us. Really just up-headed and really strong as she comes out of her blades and really square out of that rump. Really just sets well on all four corners. The one in second place, the red doe, one that you know, just doesn't quite have the overall bone work that the first one does. It's giving up just a little bit of size and production there. At the same time, I really like the extension and the balance that she does give us. Real feminine up there, head, neck, and shoulder region. Really appreciate those things about her.
Results of Class 102. Second place, Lillian McLaughlin, and the winner was Firefly Hill Boer Goats. Next in is Class 103. No, market goes from one hole. Murdoch's Ranch and Home Supply. Family, work, pets, land. Murdoch's has you covered with jeans and boots, hardware and fencing, toys, tack, and so much more. Shop Murdoch's online or find your store at murdochs.com. Saunders Construction was locally founded in 1972 and is now one of the largest and most stable construction companies in Colorado. Saunders offers well-paid positions with opportunities for career growth. Visit us at www.saundersincorporated.com for information on career opportunities.
All right. All right, we've got some of the technical things squared away a little bit better, so we're rocking and rolling now. Really like both of these powerful does to start the class with. Really super big in their chest floor and overall power from end to end. One that I like just a little bit better is overall balance with the one that I have with the young lady in first. One that really is square from end to end, really has a lot of circumference through that center skeleton. Really appreciate her from that. One that also maybe just a little better eye appealing from the side in second place, maybe just a touch shorter in her overall skeleton, but one that's still really good in her foot and bone work. Really appreciate both of these, and I can see a judge going either way on them real easily on a really close pair here. I think one that follows real nicely is the red doe here in third place, just giving up just a little bit of production as compared to the first two, but still yet really a nice balanced doe that gives us a lot of good symmetry and constitution to her. One that's still elegant up through her neck and still feminine in that head, neck, and shoulder region, but yet gives us some power as we come back through the other end. Really follows the type and pattern of the other two, just doesn't quite have the overall volume that they do. The one in the paint that we have in next place, again, just giving up some overall volume and power to the first three in front of them, but still yet I like the stretch and the length. I like the footwork in this particular doe. One that is not quite as wide, but still yet has a good rump and hip to her, and especially carries on down to that bridge and thigh. Really appreciate her. Also one that, thank you. One that is super powerful that we have in the next place, and it's really big boned and has a lot of constitution to her. Just like to give her some stretch and height at the point of the shoulder. Give her a little more frame size to compete with the ones in front of her.
Results of Class 103. In fifth place, Molly Oakley. Fourth went to Alexis Bingham. Third, 4L Boer goats. Second, Medessa Hoffer Dye. And first place, Caitlin Kleinnacht. Again, first and seconds will come back in for the champion drive of Doe Kids. So first and second out of Class 101, 102, 103, you'll be coming back in. Next in the ring is Class 104. Class 104 is the next in the ring. Percentage Doe Kids, 9 to 12 months of age. Sullivan Supply is a family-owned and operated company founded in 1989. As the innovative leader in livestock show supplies, Sullivan Supply has kept the values of hard work, family ties, and quality products at its core. Sullivan Supply is proud to service the livestock industry and wishes all the exhibitors at the National Western the best of luck. Superior Farms is proud to help sponsor the National Western Stock Show. We invite you to see more about how we help family farms. See the video at superiorfarms.com.
All right, let's give these exhibitors a round of applause, if you don't mind. Thank you. We're going to start with the young lady's black-headed, more traditional doe there. I think she just really balances out well. She's really has a high volume to that center skeleton. She's really still wide enough through her front 1/3. She still stands wide and tracks wide as she moves out. Really appreciate the way she comes back out through that loin and rump. Just a really nice balanced female that's got some height at the point of the shoulder. Excels more than many of the others in this particular class. Really appreciate the frame size and the growth and the production that she displays for us. I think we've got the paint here in second place. The young man, go ahead and bring her on out a little bit. The young man has, I really like the stretch and the length in this particular doe. One that she doesn't balance quite as well as the first one, but at the same time, she balances good enough for me, for the rest of the class. I like her length. I like her look. I really like the squareness that she displays over the top line. She's not quite as wide and full as over that top line as the one that wins the class or the one in third. But at the same time, you really like to put things together. All things considered, I have her in second place. I really like the look of that particular paint doe. The one in third place, when she came in first in the ring, I really like the look of her. The young lady shows her with her head up and really has an extremely nice top line and bottom line, really good parallel on those lines. One that really gives me a lot of volume, excuse me, from end to end, really squares up, bounces up. Not quite as big framed as the two in front of her, not quite as stretched, not quite as big. She's on handling her cover, she's at 9 to 12 months. She's starting to get just a little condition. So be careful on the feed bucket there. I know the feed bucket shows that condition helps look at the bloom, and there's a lot of things that goes along with that. But we also got to be concerned of breeding does as they get to this age and older that they're not overly conditioned. But I think she's still okay at this time, but I'd be a little careful there. Thank you. We've got one in fourth place, a more traditional doe that I really like a lot as well. She just doesn't have the overall volume and capacity that the ones in front of her does. One that still balances up pretty nicely, doesn't square up as nice, especially over the top line as the three in front of her, but at the same time, one that really is just a nice complete doe that needs to be up towards the top 3 or 4 in the class. Really like the red doe in the next hole. In fact, the next two really square, balanced, high volume, really powerful. You just look at the power and say, wow, on them. Just doesn't have the frame. It's hard to get the frame and look and power all at the same time. We're all in this business of trying to raise that one, and we're trying to find it. But we found the power for sure in these two particular does. So nice set of does, good quality from end to end. Really appreciate them. Thank you.
Results of Class 104. In ninth place, Scott Jones. Eighth went to Scott Jones. Seventh, Caitlin Kleinnecht. Sixth place, Molly Oakley. Fifth went to Rockin' D Boer Goats. Fourth, Tucker Llewellyn. Third place was J&M Show Goats. Second was McCoy Llewellyn. And the winner of the Percentage Doe Kids 9 to 12 months was Caitlin Kleinnecht. Next in is the Champion Drive of the Doe Kids. Champion Drive of the Doe Kids entering the ring at this time. We'll move right into Yearlings after this. Weaver Livestock is committed to helping you be the very best you can be. Stop by their booth between the Junior Barn and Stadium Arena to check out their full line of show supplies backed by industry experts. Weaver is devoted to fueling your enthusiasm for showing livestock with innovative products here at the National Western Stock Show. The Colorado Farm Show is proud to support the National Western Stock Show, and they invite you to attend the 60th Colorado Farm Show, taking place January 23rd through the 25th at the Island Grove Regional Event Center in Greeley, Colorado. Complete details are online at www.coloradofarmshow.com. Common Spirit Health is the proud presenting partner and official first aid provider of the National Western Stock Show. Common Spirit is committed to unleashing the healing power of humanity through human kindness. Learn more at mountain.commonspirit.org.
Test. All right, we have our first and second places. First on my left, second places on my right. As far as the young division, the junior division for the percentage does, and they are from youngest to oldest. And as we look at these four to go for our champion division winner, I've got every one of them that I really have a lot of things that I like about them. The quality does run deep in all 8 of these out here. Really appreciate them. The one that to me has the most volume, has the look as well to go along with it. Still balances up really nice is the older doe. She's going to be your champion. As we bring the paint in, that was second in that class, one that we talked about earlier, really stretched out. Really appreciate the skeletal extension that she gives us. Just not quite as high volumed and not quite as square over that top line as the champion was, but at the same time, a really, really nice doe. When we put her in here with the other 3 to go for reserve division, I'm still going to go ahead and go with one that's a little more similar in kind. The one here that this young lady's showing that was a 6 to 9 month old class. She'll be your reserve. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
If you're looking for that extra edge in the show ring, consider the Blue Ribbon 2 blocking blade from Andis, now available with ceramic edge cutting blade. Designed for competition, the Andis Blue Ribbon 2 blocking blade delivers a new level of performance with improved hair feed and clean show-stopping lines. Create your way with Andis. John Deere is the official agriculture and turf equipment provider of the National Western Stock Show. Visit your local John Deere dealer for great deals now, and remember, nothing runs like a Deere. At Murdoch's, save on the essentials you need, like jeans, boots, hardware, pet supplies, fencing, and so much more. Shop Murdoch's online or find your store at murdochs.com. Saunders Construction was locally founded in 1972 and is now one of the largest and most stable construction companies in Colorado. Saunders offers well-paid positions with opportunities for career growth. Visit us at www.saundersincorporated.com for information on career opportunities.
All right, another good class here in our yearling drive. Start with the red doe here at this, for this particular class. Just one that just really, as she came in the ring, really hit me kind of hard as far as the overall balance and look that she had. You know, when you really look at both ends of her, she squares up pretty good. really square over her top line. You know, may give her just a little more power right behind those blades, but at the same time, for this particular class in comparison, she really excels real easily. I think not easily placed necessarily, but at the same time, power-wise, she does. I think big foot is the biggest foot, biggest boned doe probably in this class is the one that we have in second. One that doesn't quite have the stretch, but still has the power. She's really wide-based. We really appreciate that about her. She has a nice circumference to her center skeleton, really square and wide over her top line. Really appreciate her from there. Really good balanced doe that you like to see. One that still has some balance and power and volume to her is the one in third. Just doesn't quite have the height at the point of the shoulder and the overall frame that the first two in this particular class has, but still a really big-bodied, really high-volume, high-capacity doe. Appreciate her a lot. One that's giving up just a little bit of bone compared to the others, but has adequate bone to me. Still yet going to be productive. Not quite as feminine in her head as one or two in the other in the class, but still yet really good through her center skeleton. Appreciate that about her. She's still really wide based on all four corners from end to end. Really square over her loin. We really like that about her too. So really a lot of advantages. Just like to fix her a couple places compared to the ones in front of her. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A doe here, I'd just like to square up, and this dapple doe, I'd like to square her up and give her just a little more volume compared to some of the others in the class, but yet still I like her length, I like her height at the point of the shoulder, like her overall maturity pattern from that standpoint. Just want to give her just a little more squareness, okay? And a doe that we have here in the next place, one that we just like to give a little more volume and a little more growth to. Thank you.
Results of Class 105. In sixth place, Trevor Rubin. Fifth went to James Arthur. Fourth, Alexis Bingham. Third place, Tucker Llewellyn. Second, Medessa Hoffer Dye. And first place, Rebel Mountain Ranch. Entering the ring is Class 106. Percentage yearling doe, 16 to 20 months. Sullivan Supply is a family-owned and operated company founded in 1989. As the innovative leader in livestock show supplies, Sullivan Supply has kept the values of hard work, family ties, and quality products at its core. Sullivan Supply is proud to service the livestock industry and wishes all the exhibitors at the National Western the best of luck.
You know, one thing that I told my children a lot of times, you always want to pick one that you want to look at every day. If you don't like looking at it every day, then you don't need to pick it. So when you start trying to work with one to show, pick one you like. But it also, put it in the right class. This young man put it in the right class. I can't miss this one. So he's a single entry. Still yet, as a single entry, I want to say just a couple things about this particular doe. I really like how smooth she is through the shoulder region and neck region as compared to the power that she has from side to side, from the base width that she has, especially the depth of body and the width that she has over her top line. Just a really nice, high-volumed, powerful doe. We'll see her as we compare her in the yearling drive here in a few minutes.
Results of Class 106. The winner was Cole Spurlock. Next in, Class 107. At the completion of 107, we'll have the champion yearling drive. Champion drive of the yearling percentage does.
We have another single entry with a red doe here that the gentleman brought in. You know, she's a little more mature as a yearling, and definitely looks as though she's carrying a kid or two. Really appreciate the way she still kept up with her overall body stature for now in production. I really appreciate her from fore rib to rear flank as far as the depth that she carries all the way from end to end. Along with that, with that much volume, you know, she's still smooth through her shoulder, still wide through her chest floor, and we like those things about her too. So we'll compare her here in just a minute for the division drive.
Results of Class 107, yearling does 20 to 24 months, Rockin' D Boer goats is the winner. Now, first and seconds out of the three classes in this yearling group come back in for the champion drive of yearlings. Champion drive of yearlings entering the ring at this time. Superior Farms American Lamb is delicious and easy to cook. Visit superiorfarms.com for great recipes and ask for American Lamb at your favorite restaurant.
Yearling percentage drive now, and we've got 3 out here, and we had 1 second place. Don't have the second place ones because of the 2 single entries. So now we're going to pick the champion that will come back in for the overall grand champion of the percentages here in a few minutes. But to me, I'll really like one of them, and that's this first red doe here. And she's going to be the one that wins this particular drive. The 2 young men showing. How's that sound? A doe that really just is just showy all over. You know, you just look at her, and she's got the balance and the symmetry and the look that you really do appreciate. I think when you look at the second place one from that particular class, you can leave it there or move it over there, either way you want to, young lady. But another one that really balances out, has some stretch and give and flexibility as she moves around the ring. One that you like to see on all 4 corners. I really like her as well too. One that was still fairly close to the one that she just came in second to in class. I think when we look at all 3 of these now, the one that I like is her. She's going to be your reserve.
Your champion yearling doe goes to Rebel Mountain Ranch, and your reserve champion goes to Medessa Hoffer Dye. Next in is the aged. Class 109 aged does next in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, if you see the folks walking around in the black coats that say volunteer, make sure you tell them thanks. We couldn't do this without them. They do a lot of work, and as it says on their coat, it's all volunteer. So they're just here to make your experience better. That goes for exhibitors as well as spectators. We appreciate all they do and would ask that you tell them thank you also, because like I said, it wouldn't run without them. So thank you, volunteers, very much. Weaver Livestock is committed to helping you be the very best you can be. Stop by their booth between the Junior Barn and Stadium Arena to check out their full line of show supplies backed by industry experts. Weaver is devoted to fueling your enthusiasm for showing livestock with innovative products here at the National Western Stock Show.
I've got a really nice pair here, and they're somewhat similar, yet contrast in some other particular points. I'm going to go ahead and start with the gentleman here closest to me. One that I really like the front view a little better, one that is just a little more powerful and elegant through that area. Not saying that the other one's not. These are two that are really close in my estimations. The one that I have in second, probably a little longer made. The one that I have in first here, probably a little wider over the top line and square out of the hip. But still two super really nice, powerful does that could be placed either way. But that's just the way I like them this morning.
Results of Class 109. Age does, percentage age does, 36 months and over. Second place, Firefly Hill Boer goats, and first place, Rebel Mountain Ranch, and they also would be Grand in Reserve. Now coming into the ring is just Champion in Reserve. Now coming into the ring are the does being selected for Grand Drive. So we have Champion Reserve Doe Kid and Champion Reserve Yearling will come back in and compete for Grand Champion Female. The Colorado Farm Show is proud to support the National Western Stock Show, and they invite you to attend the 60th Colorado Farm Show, taking place January 23rd through the 25th at Island Grove Regional Event Center in Greeley, Colorado. Complete details are at www.coloradofarmshow.com.
First of all, let's give these 6 exhibitors a big round of applause. To come in here for the overall champion percentage doe, I just say wow on the quality of all 6 of these. Really appreciate them, and you know, if you're a producer, you love to have all 6 of them. So won't say anything further past that. I think when we come in and look at those 3 on the far side from me, at least closest to the announcer, as the class winners to be our champion, we look at them, and I'm going to go with the one that I think just outpowers the rest of them, and that's our senior doe. She was in a smaller class, but at the same time, she just tremendous as far as overall power and volume from end to end. Really appreciate her. I think as we bring in the reserve, one that was really similar in some ways, maybe not quite as powerful from end to end, not quite as wide over her top line, but yet she stretched out with a longer skeleton, still smooth over her shoulder, and we appreciate that about her. You know, the things that I said about the other 2 earlier, I'll just say ditto. How's that sound? I can't brag on them enough, in other words, and so we really appreciate the quality in the other 2 as well. You know, I think as we come in and try to select a reserve, you know, I've liked that red doe all along. She'll be your reserve.
Your grand champion in the percentage does goes to Rebel Mountain Ranch. Your reserve champion goes to Rebel Mountain Ranch. Next in, class 201, full blood doe kids, 0 to 3 months. Join Kirk Steerwalt, renowned Andis livestock grooming educator, for a live demonstration in the Beef Palace Auction Arena. Kirk will explain the latest techniques to create award-winning results with your Andis tools. Please check your schedule for dates and times. John Deere is the official agriculture and turf equipment provider of the National Western Stock Show. Visit your local John Deere dealer for great deals now, and remember, nothing runs like a Deere. Saunders Construction was locally founded in 1972 and is now one of the largest and most stable construction companies in Colorado. Saunders offers well-paid positions with opportunities for career growth. Visit us at www.saundersincorporated.com for information on career opportunities.
All right, with just 3 in the class, I'm not going to save a little time and not take them down to the other end, but still leave them in line here. The young man that's got the more black predominant dapple doe here is going to win this particular class. Just kind of outpowers the other two. One is still very balanced and gives us a lot of good look to her. She's still big-footed and big-boned and heavily constructed that we appreciate for this particular age especially. I think as we come into the next two, one that gives just a little more volume than the other is the more red dapple-colored doe, one that still balances up really nice and still has some power and volume to her, maybe as compared to the more traditional colored doe in this particular class. The one that we have in third, I'd like to just give a little more volume to compared to the other two. She may be younger, but at the same time, just let her give a little more groceries in her and a little more time. So thank you very much.
Results of Class 201. Full-blood doe kids, 0 to 3 months. Third place, Tori Brinks. Second place, Rebel Mountain Ranch. And first place, Caden Hegelson. Next in, Class 202, full blood, doe kids 3 to 6 months.
We've got a really nice traditional doe here to be a single entry in this second class of full bloods. One that really squares up real nice and complements the bone work that she has and the structure that she gives us. Really sets out well on all fours, and we'll just compare her here in a few minutes with the others as they come back in. But still yet a nice single entry. He did a good job putting her in the right class, but at the same time, she's still high quality anyway. Thank you.
Results of Class 202, full blood doe kids 3 to 6 months, Sammy Lorena. Next in the ring, Class 203, doe kids 6 to 9 months. Sullivan Show Supply is a family-owned and operated company founded in 1989. As the innovative leader in livestock show supplies, Sullivan Supply has kept the values of hard work, family ties, and quality products at its core. Sullivan Supply is proud to service the livestock industry and wishes all the exhibitors at the National Western the best of luck.
We're going to start off with more predominantly paint doe here with the young lady in the orange shirt. A doe that just really balances up to me, really has a lot of volume to her, really taller at the point of the shoulder, really cleaner and neater up through that head, neck, and shoulder region. Just really squares out really nice for me. I really appreciate the parallel lines and how she carries that depth all the way from fore rib back to the rear flank. I really like her overall curvature to that hip. You know, these goats are supposed to have somewhat of a slope because that's their natural way that they feed on brush and tree leaves and so on and so forth. So it doesn't have to be exactly level like we may see in a cattle ring or anything like that. So we've got to acknowledge those things, but just the way the head and neck looks in this particular doe, really like the way that she appears to us. One that's very similar in kind, but just a little smaller in overall stature is the one in second place. Still wide through her chest floor, maybe not quite as long-bodied as the one in third, but still a little higher volume, a little more circumference through that body as the one in third. So there's a little bit of trade-off here and there on those two. Really nice doe that we have in second, really nice doe that we have in third. The one in third maybe not quite have the overall constitution that the one in the second was, but at the same time, she's really a little taller at the point of the shoulder, a little longer through her skeleton. Really like those things about it. Maybe not quite as feminine in that head, but still at the same time, she's easily feminine enough. Appreciate her from there too. One that we had in fourth place, I really liked her. Just giving up just a little bit of frame size, a little bit of stature, a little bit of height at the point of the shoulder as compared to the first one and the third one. But still yet, you look at this doe, you'd love to have a pasture full of them. She's big-footed, wide-based all the way through, just really a nice balance. She is more feminine than the one in front of her, so we've got some advantages that she gives us as well, too. So very nice doe. Another nice doe that we have in the next place, just really super wide-chested. That chest floor, you know, as far as that width of chest floor and comparing her to the first 3 or 4 in the class, maybe giving up just a little bit of foot and bone size. One that's still big-bodied and a lot of circumference in that center skeleton. One that squares off over her top line. Just like to put a little bit more to her overall frame and compare it to the other ones in front of her. One that we see in the dapple that comes on down, we just like to give her a little more to her compared to some of those. Give her a little more time, a little more groceries, okay? And she'll be good down the line. One that we have in the next hole, I think just maybe a little shorter in her kind, but you know, when you talk about stout, she's stout. So we definitely have to give her the overall volume and constitution that we like to see in them. She just needs some more frame and to be in a little later maturity pattern for me, at least at this time. Two nice does that we have here in the next places, still wide through their base floor. Just like to give them a little more squareness, a little more volume as compared to those in front of them.
Results of Class 203. In 9th place, Alexis Bingham. 8th went to Kendra Helgeson. 7th, Regal Boer Goats. 6th place, Caitlin Kleinneck. 5th place, Jennifer Wagster. 4th place, Regal Boer Goats. 3rd place went to Firefly Hill Boer Goats. 2nd place, 4L Boer Goats, and the winner of Class 203, 4L Boer Goats. Next in, Class 204, 001. Superior Farms Ready to try a delicious change? Serve your family American lamb from Superior Farms. There are so many ways to enjoy lamb with the easy recipes at superiorfarms.com. The Colorado Farm Show is proud to support the National Western Stock Show, and they invite you to attend the 60th Colorado Farm Show, taking place January 23rd through the 25th at Island Grove Regional Event Center in Greeley, Colorado. Complete details can be found at www.coloradofarmshow.com.
Okay, let me say just a couple things on what we're doing on this particular class. We have a large class, and with the size of the ring, we're running 2 heats. So what I did on this first heat was pull 6 over to the side because we've got to place 10 for the premium list. So I pull 6 out from this class. These will go out and go in pins to hang on till the second heat is over. And so those in front of me right now, we're going to excuse you from the ring. And thank you for being in here in the show at the National Western today. But you did a great job. But just need a little more power, a little more volume, a little more size to compete with some of these over here that I kept out in the ring. Thank you.
Entering the ring is class 204-002. 204-002 entering the ring at this time. Weaver Livestock is committed to helping you be the very best you can be. Stop by their booth between the Junior Barn and Stadium Arena to check out their full line of show supplies backed by industry experts. Weaver is devoted to fueling your enthusiasm for showing livestock with innovative products here at the National Western Stock Show.
All right, I pulled 7 over this time, 6 over last time. We're going to go ahead again, like in the first heat. In the second heat, we're going to excuse the ones on this side of the ring, closest to the scales, the announcer stand at this time. Still some really nice does in this group. Just didn't quite have the power and or look or balance as the ones that we kept in the 7 that we kept. So appreciate y'all being here and showing today, and I know some of you are showing several. So look forward to seeing you back in the ring again here after a while. But really big class, really nice class. We'll go ahead and start putting the 6 or 7 from Heat 1 and Heat 2 together here in just a minute. Go ahead and excuse y'all. Thank you. All right, we're going to start this class. Now, again, we had Heat 1, Heat 2. We brought the top 13 back in. And so these are placed from this end closest to me. This will be 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth. These are the top 4. And so I'm starting off with the gentlemen's here to be first place. I think when you look at this particular doe on the side view, when she comes in the ring, she just hits you really hard, as really parallel in her lines, really long in her skeleton, really long up front and feminine throughout. One thing I like to do to her compared to the second and third one is have just a little more powerful front end. You know, when you look at the chest floor and the overall power and width, as you look at that front end on these top 3 or 4, I really like this second place one. She's not as long and as nice a pattern as the one that leads off the class, to me at least, but she could win another class to another judge easily. I think any of these 3 or 4 could do that, just depending on personal preference. But super nice, long-bodied, tall-fronted, really nice pattern doe that we lead off the class with. A super nice balanced doe that's super powerful and wide-chested, really big-footed and big-boned, really heavy skull, but yet still feminine in her head. We really appreciate that about her. I just like to stretch her out, stretch her pattern out a little bit compared to the first one. Again, that's a personal preference. One that's made much like her here in third place, but just maybe giving up just a little bit of volume. But they're very, very close. So 3 really nice ones to start the class. And in fact, the fourth place one follows in real nicely, giving up just a little bit of volume to the second and third one as well. But still 4 super nice does. Fifth place kind of falls right in line, just giving up a little bit of volume there too. But at the same time, you know, one of the bigger footed, bigger boned, stouter featured, heavier constructed type females in the class, but still yet feminine up through her head, neck, and shoulder region. One that really is nice and square from the withers down to the forerib and back to the rump and down to the rear flank. We really appreciate those things about her too. One that sits in the next place in 6th, one that I really like the stretch and the length to her, one that probably gives up just a little bit of power compared to those in front of her, at least at this time. You know, we need to handle those to make sure they weren't overly conditioned, to make sure that, you know, some of these that were in better condition would move up. That didn't happen. So she'll stay in 6th place, but at the same time, definitely acknowledging her and the 1 or 2 behind her for competing with these in front of them. Just a really nice set of, I guess, 3 or 4 or 5 does in this particular class. This is always a big, tough class at most shows, and we always acknowledge the quality in all of these does throughout. Thank you very much.
Last call for the champion drive of doe kids. We need first and second out of 201, 202, 203, and 204. Report back for the champion drive. Entering the ring is the champion drive of doe kids. First and second out of class 201, 202, 203, and 204 for the champion drive of the doe kids.
we just got through looking at this particular doe here in the older class of these young does, and it's just a super nice pattern doe. Really appreciate her from end to end. A paint doe that we really liked as far as her overall balance and squareness that she gave us in that particular class. Another really nice balanced traditional type doe that I really did like, the straightness and parallel lines and the squareness that she gave us. Really nice in her forearm all the way up to her loin and hip. Another young dapple type doe that she's just got to have more time and growth to show us what she has, but what she's showing us today, you know, I'd like to maybe just give her just a little more C shape at her knee, but at the same time, really for her age, a really nice stout doe. In my mind, with these four particular does, I'm gonna go ahead and use division champion for the older doe. She's gonna be it right now. And as we bring in the second place from that class to show for reserve, I think when we looked at her a few minutes ago, we really liked the front end in her. We liked the power, we liked the symmetry, liked the overall volume. She's gonna be our reserve.
Champion Doe Kid goes to Sammy Lorena, and your reserve champion to Regal Boer Goats. Next in is the Yearling, first class of Yearlings, class 205, 12 to 16 months. This is Heat 1.
I thought this was a class, but this is actually the first heat of the next class. So we're going to pin the top 6, and then we're going to excuse the others, okay? And then we'll judge the next one. Thank you. Sorry for any confusion.
Entering the ring is Heat 2 of Class 205. Heat 2 of Class 205 entering the ring. This is full-blood yearling does 12 to 16 months of age.
All right, we did the second heat again, and we'll excuse these 4. Then we'll keep those 6 to come back in with the other ones from heat 1. Ooh, sorry. So thank you very much. Just need a little more overall power and volume with these, and we'll go for the others, and then we'll place these others.
We'll now bring the does that were pulled out of the first heat back in, and we're placing Class 205. Class 205 will now be placed.
Really appreciate the ring help with Miss Ellison and May and Peyton, and Brock was in here earlier today. Just appreciate their help here in the ring, and we get going on things, and so appreciate them. I'm going to start with the young man in the orange shirt first. He's going to be first of the class. The young lady in the black shirt second. Two really, really nice does that we really appreciate for a lot of the positive traits that they exhibit to us today. Really straight in their lines, really powerful, really wide from end to end. Probably the second one, probably maybe just a little more powerful in that chest floor than the first one. First one, I really like the levelness and squareness of top line. Really like the overall look and elegant look and femininity that both of them have with all the power that they do have. Probably just a little more stretch and length in that skeleton than the first one over the second one. So that's kind of a give and take. I really like the square look that first one gives me as well too. So both of them really, really nice does. Third place doe, really appreciate her as well. Sorry. Third place doe, just a little rougher in her overall appearance, but at the same time, you look through that and she's super big-footed, big skeleton, real powerful all the way from end to end. Just deserves to be up here in the top 3 or 4 for sure, to me at least. The next one in line, one that gives up just a little bit of frame, just a little bit of stretch as compared to the other 3 in front, but yet, well, I don't know how much you can get any more powerful than these first 3 or 4 here. So still super wide-chested, super through that chest floor, really thick as she goes away from you through that bridge and thigh. Again, another really nice silhouette when you look from the side on this particular doe. At the same time, she's not quite as square as some of the others, but she's square enough and she'll be a great doe. But she just doesn't, for the show ring, she just doesn't quite have as square a look from the top line as those in front of her. Probably not quite as big-footed on the rear feet, but at the same time, she's definitely got enough foot size and bone as far as to make a really good doe in the future. Thanks to everybody for this particular large class. Congratulations.
Results of Class 205. In 10th place, Remington Llewellyn. 9th place, Tenth place, Firefly Hill Boer Goats. 9th place, Phyllis Groth. 8th place, Skylar Herman. 7th place, Cole Spurlock. 6th went to Tory Brinks. 5th to Rebel Mountain Ranch. 4th place, Firefly Hill Boer Goats. 3rd to Phyllis Groth. 2nd to Regal Boer Goats. And 1st in Class 205, 4L Boer Goats. Next in the ring is Class 206. Class 206 in the ring at this time.
his first year.
Thank you so much. He's good.
We've got another nice class here, and young man's going to win this class with his doe. Just a really nice doe that's a little taller at the point of the shoulders, just a little stretcher than the second one in second place. But still yet, I really appreciate both of these for their balance and their symmetry, for their muscling throughout. The one here in second place, just a little shorter in her kind, but at the same time, just super stout, powerful. We really like those things about her, just really elegant all the way around. Two really nice does to start this class. Third place, we got a dapple down here on the end, and she probably stretches out longer than the others, but at the same time, probably just need a little more strength behind the point of the shoulder, probably just a little more base width compared to the other two in front, but still yet a really nice doe that tracked out really nice and easy and free, and we really appreciate her quality. In fourth place here, more of a paint doe that really is more predominantly red. I think one that we really like the front end, the cleanliness and the femininity up to that neck. You know, I may want to put just a touch more in the head, but at the same time, one thing that really strikes you about this one is the height at the point of the shoulder compared to the others behind her, and the circumference of that center skeleton, and how she combines those two things compared to those behind her. So really nice from that standpoint. One that we have here is a really nice stout doe. I'd like to see a little more bone work compared to how big she is in her body. You know, it just doesn't quite match as well to me, but at the same time, she is really high volume and really has a lot of capacity to her, so we appreciate her from there. Appreciate all the quality of these does, and just thank you very much.
Results of Class 206. In 8th place, Kristen Marr. 7th place, Isabella Phillips. 6th place, Callie Helgenfeld. 5th place, Jennifer Wadester. 4th place, Callie Helgenfeld. 3rd went to Skylar Herman. 2nd to Isabella Phillips. And 1st place, Tucker Llewellyn. Next in is Class 207. 207 next in. Then we'll do the Yearling, the division Yearling champ. So we'll need 1st and 2nd out of 205, 206, and 207.
Again, we have a really high quality class here for our last class of yearling full-blood does. We're starting with the young man's doe here again that's just really super long in their own kind. One that's still stout featured from end to end. Probably not as wide over that loin and hip as the one in second place. The one in second place I really enjoy looking at as well too. You know, I said earlier today that I told my son years ago, don't have one unless you enjoy looking at it every day. Well, I'd enjoy looking at both of these every day. So nothing to sneeze at on either one of them. Both huge in their foot size, their forearm, up through their shoulder. Just appreciate a little more depth of body, a little more volume, a little more stretch and length of skeleton in that first place one versus the second one. But nothing to sneeze at for sure on the second one. She's super stout. She's nicely balanced. Really appreciate the stoutness and balance that she gives us. One that follows in third place, I really enjoy looking at her too, especially at the front 1/3 of her body as you take that front view. You know, one of the things I like to change about her, maybe just the way she sets on her rear legs a little bit, but at the same time, just got out volume, just a touch, just a nickel on compared to the first two, but still nothing to sneeze at as far as the overall volume and capacity that she has. A really nice, high-quality doe. Really nice doe than the dapple that we have in the next place. Really big circumference through her center skeleton. Maybe not quite as high constitution as the ones in front of her, but at the same time, really nice doe. Same thing as far as the next doe down the line. Like to have just a little more constitution compared to those top three, but still yet a nice balanced doe.
Results of Class 207. In 7th place, Catherine Sweener. 6th place went to Regal Boer Goats. 5th, Firefly Hill Boer Goats. 4th place, Callie Helgenfeld. 3rd, Kendra Helgelson. 2nd went to 4L Boer Goats. And 1st place to Sammy Lorena. In the ring is the championship drive of yearlings. Next up is 2-year-old does.
I think we've got a really nice set in here. Let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause. These are a really high quality set of does in the ring for this yearling drive. I think when we look at everything that I've been looking at today and looking for today, I guess the one that shoots out to me is this one here in the middle. She'll be your champion.
Your champion yearling goes to Tucker Llewellyn.
I think if you bring in the second place from that class, then again, it's still a really high quality group of a trio that we have here running from the younger to the older classes. I think when we look at those again, I'm going to go with the older one here for reserve.
And your reserve champion yearling goes to Sammy Lorena. Entering the ring is Class 208. 208 2-year-old does entering the ring.
test. We're going to start with the traditional doe here in this particular class. I just think she balances out a little bit better of this pair. I really like the front end better in the second place one. Really big volume as far as her overall center body, but I like the balance in the more predominantly traditional one first. So nice pair. We'll go on to the next class and come back in for the senior division champion.
Results of Class 208. In second place, Callie Helgenfeld, and in first place, Scott Jones. Now in is the age does. Those two will come back in for champion of the age division.
We're going to go ahead and start this class with the gentleman's goat. I think we've got a really nice paint doe here to start the senior class with. Just super wide and heavy constructed all the way through. You say wow when you look at all the mass that she has. Just really still that feminine between her eyes and in that forehead. Really appreciate her for overall volume and body. The one here in second place, I really appreciate her head, neck, and shoulders. This young lady keeps bringing in does today to me that's really pretty fronted, and I really appreciate that. So just a big bone work and big power, but yet still heavy volume and real feminine all the way through. Really appreciate her too. Thank you.
Results of Class 209. In fifth place, Scott Jones. Fourth went to Firefly Hill Boer Goats. Third, Sammy Lorena. Second, Regal Boer Goats. And first, Firefly Hill Boer Goats. This is the champion of the division.
Looking at champion for the senior division, we've got a really nice set here, especially as I look at these two senior does. I'm going to run champion with the overall senior doe that I have here to my right, this paint doe, and then I'm going to go reserve with the second place of that particular class.
Congratulations.
Give them a round of applause.
Your champion of the senior division is Firefly Hill Boer Goats. Your reserve champion is Regal Boer Goats. Now we'll bring in the champions and reserves for the grand drive. This is the grand drive of the females. Champion and reserves of the three divisions come in for the grand drive.
As we bring in the all of the division champions, man, just really high quality does that we get to see. It's a lot, as a judge, it's a lot more fun, a lot more pleasure to look at the high quality ones than it is not. And so we really appreciate the quality that has come from top to bottom all the way through today. I particularly like one or two of these in particular, as I've liked them all day when I've come in. I think when we look at these particular does and just look at production and show does, you can pick any one of these three, justify where you want to go with it. I think the one that really just stands out at this particular time is the senior doe. She's going to be your champion.
Grand champion female goes to Firefly Hill Boer Goats. Grand champion female.
When we bring in the second, as I mentioned in class a while ago, just super stout, featured, big bone, really pretty fronted in that second, and then in the reserve overall senior goat. I think we've got some really nice ones here and still in these five in the ring. And again, you can pick any one of them and justify it. I think when we look at all said and done, I'm going to go with the middle one for reserve.
And your reserve grand champion female goes to Tucker Llewellyn. Reserve grand champion goes to Tucker Llewellyn. Next in, full blood bucks, class 301.
test. We're going to start with the young man's buck here. Start off the buck drive. Just a little more powerful, a little heavier fronted. At the same time, real clean up through that chest floor, but still yet powerful through that heavy front. One that's still masculine in his own right and really wide over his top line. One that's just a little more immature in his second place. I think still yet a really nice balanced buck that's really square over his top line. Just a little more immature than the other one.
Results of Class 301. Second place, Tori Brinks. And your winner is Sammy Lorena. Next in, Class 302, Buck Kids, 3 to 6 months. Class 302, Buck Kids, 3 to 6 months.
I think when you look at these, they all have some positive traits to them on this class of bucks. When they're young like this, they're just, you want all the bones in the right places. You want all the structure to be there, and you want them to be free and moving out. And that's at the same time, you still want the power and the volume and the width. I think as you look at these in particular, the one that puts it all together is the red buck that we have here in first place. Really nice, complete buck. I think we have one here in second that's a little more functional than the one behind it, one that's giving up some power and some width and some volume and muscling. At the same time, right now he's walking and moving out just a little better than the one behind him, so we'll use him.
Results of Class 302. In fourth place, Emmett Llewellyn. Third place went to Caitlin Kleinneck. Second, McCoy Llewellyn. And first place, Sammy Lorena. In the ring is Class 303. Class 303 entering the ring at this time, Buck Kids 6 to 9 months.
We'll start this class with the young ladies' more traditional buck, buck that to me is just a little more frame, a little more versatility to him on his frame size. Really appreciate the overall length that he has and the overall look and the masculinity that he really has in that head. Appreciate his stoutness from end to end. Stout buck that we follows him with the dapple here in second place, just not quite as stretched out, not quite as strong in his top line as the one in front of him, but at the same time, a really nice buck. Both bucks, really nice pair.
Results of Class 303. Sixth place, Scott Jones. Fifth place, Scott Jones. Fourth place, Sammy Lorena. Third place, Tucker Llewellyn. Second went to Skylar Herman. And the winner of Class 303, Medessa Hoffer Dye. In the ring is Class 304. Upon completion of 304, we will have the division champs for Buck Kids.
We're going to start the class with the young man in the orange shirt here, first on to me, leading out. Just a really nice balanced buck that really is parallel and symmetrical from end to end. Really nice. Appreciate the way his bone work displays and exhibits to us this morning. We really complements his overall masculinity in his head and his shoulder. Also, another buck that we have here in second place, not quite as long and fronted as the one in front of him, but at the same time, really stout and masculine as well. Big-footed, big bone, all the way through. A buck that really is balanced in his own right. One that we just really appreciate. Both really nice, high-quality bucks.
Next in is division champion for Buck Kids. Division champion for Buck Kids next in the ring. First and second out of the results of Class 304. In 10th place, Scott Jones. 9th place, Scott Jones. 8th place, Phyllis Groth. 7th place, Jennifer Wagester. 6th place, Regal Boer Goats. 5th place, Ashlyn Huff. 4th, Jennifer Wagester. 3rd place, Isabella Phillips. 2nd went to Sammy Lorena. And the winner of Class 304 was 4L Boer Goats. In the ring is the champion drive of the Buck Kids.
Really nice set of bucks for these young ones. I think we've got one or two here that really stands out a little more in my mind than the others, as it should, as I roll through them today. The one that I like at this particular time is the senior, is the older one. He's going to be your champion. Really nice, complete buck that's really powerful through his front end. I think as we bring in the second place one from that particular class, they were somewhat close, but at the same time, I said there's both really high-quality bucks, and they are. One that's a little more narrow from base width, but still yet wide enough, of course. Really nice and high quality. Another one I really liked in class and really just stood out to me was this red one. He's going to be your reserve.
Congratulations.
Champion Buck Kid goes to 4L Boer Goats and reserve champion to Sammy Lorena. Next in the ring is Class 305, Yearling Bucks 12 to 16 months. Class 305, Yearling Bucks 12 to 16 months old.
Sorry, Ellison. We're going to run with a more traditional buck here to start with. A really powerful buck we have in the chest floor on the second place buck. At the same time, the first place buck in me is a little more square on his feet and the front legs. Really big footed and big forearmed as you look at him. Really one that might want to just strengthen out right behind his blade a touch. At the same time, he is stretched out a little more, a little taller at the point of the shoulder, a little more skeletally extended. We really like this particular buck. Second buck we have is, as I just mentioned, really powerful through his front 1/3 of his body. Really like to maybe strengthen him up on his rear third as compared to the front third, as compared to a better balance as we compare it to the first place one, but still a really nice buck. Third place just needs a little more volume to compete with these two.
Results of Class 305. In third place, Kristen Marr. Second, Rockin' D Boer Goats. And first place, Rebel Mountain Ranch. Next in the ring is Class 306. Yearling buck, 16 to 20 months. 16 to 20 months, Class 306, next in the ring.
Another class of bucks that we have here, they actually just came in the way I liked them, and that didn't help with sorting a little bit, but got a nice dapple here to start with, just kind of more powerful than the others in the class. Really is more symmetrical and nicer balanced with that power, so we appreciate him to be in first. Still yet a red buck here that we like in second. Not as long in his neck as the other, but still yet super wide-chested and powerful from end to end. Really like his overall stoutness. Just give up a little bit of overall power from the shoulders back to the hip as compared to the dapple that won the class.
Results of Class 306. In third place, Sammy Lorena. Second went to Rebel Mountain Ranch. And first was Skylar Herman. Next in the ring is Class 307, yearling bucks 20 to 24 months of age.
We have a single entry here in this particular buck class, so we'll talk about him in just a touch, and then we'll have the yearling buck drive to come in. So a buck that just, he's tall at the point of the shoulder, still got some masculinity to him. I like the overall horn and headset to him, so we'll compare him here in a few seconds. We got some really nice current bucks and a future buck or two down there in the young ones, younger ones, I guess. But I think as these bucks mature, then of course they're ready to go, and that's what they're all about. That's the production as far as the full blood and the commercial industry is what we're looking at down the road. I think when we look at this particular set and look at these three class winners to go for champion, I've got one in my mind that I really like, and that's the Dapple here in the middle. He'll be your champion. I think as we bring the red one over from that class, we've got, again, a very stout buck that's really stout in his own kind. Again, not as long in his front end and his neckline as well as the others. I think he's still got a good balance and symmetry to him. I think at this particular time, I like the youngest one in this class to be the reserve. He'll be the one that I think has a lot of future in him.
Results of your yearling division champ. Your champion was Skylar Herman, and your reserve champion was Rebel Mountain Ranch. Next in is the grand drive. Grand Drive for the grand champion buck. Next in the ring.
We've got 4 really nice bucks out here for the overall grand drive for the 0 to 12 months, and then the yearlings didn't have a senior at this particular time at the National Western, so we're looking at these 4 bucks, these two division winners to go for grand, and then whoever wins grand, the other one will come in to vie for reserve. So we're looking mainly at these 2 right now, the dapple and the traditional. I think when you look at both of these, I really like the power and the symmetry of both of them. I like the overall functionality of both of them. When they both walked, they walked out nice and easy, tracked out real well on all 4s. I think there's one that to me that has a little nicer balance to him. That's going to be the young man here with the traditional one. He's going to be your grand.
Your grand champion buck goes to 4L Boer Goats. 4L Boer Goats is your grand champion buck.
I think when we come in for reserve, again, this younger buck that I selected for reserve in that division is just a super attractive buck, red buck that I really like to look at from end to end as he comes in. Yeah, I'd like to make him just a little stronger, as I mentioned, right behind his shoulder blade as he comes out, but he comes out with a really wide, for his age, he comes out really wide over his loin and through his rump and hip, big bone and really stout featured. I think when we look at that one versus the dapple, you know, it's a toss-up as far as what your priorities are. I really do like him. He's going to be your reserve.
And your reserve grand champion goes to Sammy Lorena. Sammy Lorena. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's thank Dr. Randy Harp. Worked through our Boers today, did an amazing job. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Harp. Thank you for all your hard work.